this is your city. On the 18th of May, you can take it. That is what democracy is about. That is how it is made to work for ordinary people. Change will not be achieved by voting for the same underperforming government over and over again, somehow expecting a different result. Change will not be achieved by taking to the streets in protest. And change will certainly not be achieved by sitting at home on election day, doing nothing about the problems which afflict your community. It is only at the ballot box that people have the power to take back government from ineffective and poor leaders. It is only by making the change and voting for a new government that people will ensure clean, effective administration and service delivery for all. We have seen it in Cape Town, we have seen it in Midvaal, and we can see it in the Tshwane Metro. Yes. Nog nooit was die kans op 'n nuwe regering in hierdie stad so goed nie. In die laaste plaaslike regeringsverkiesing in 2006 was daar slegs 'n 7% verskil tussen steun vir die oppositie en steun vir die huidige regerende party. In 2009, our support almost doubled at the polls. We as a party know how, and we will bring our voters to the ballot box on the 18th of May. Kiesers wat nog nooit van tevore daaraan gedink het om ja te stem nie, oorweeg dit nou. Die oog van die ganse land sal gevestig wees op die tweestryd in ons stad. Our existing and our new supporters will be the new majority in this election. Never has the need for a new city government in the Tshwane Metro been so pressing. After 18th of May, we will be the third largest geographic city in the world, after New York and Tokyo. Making the demand for clean, effective, responsive government all the more important. We can no longer afford to squander our finances, to neglect our infrastructure, and to delay the extension of basic services for everyone. We need our Metro Police to be trained and equipped, and on the beat in every part of the city. We need our public transport to be affordable and accessible, and our road networks to be extended to reach every corner of our city. The price of apathy in this election is just too great. The DA has delivered in Cape Town, we've delivered in Midvaal, and we've delivered in many other towns across our country. And the DA can deliver here in Tshwane. If the same principles are applied here, the same successes that have been achieved elsewhere can be achieved right here. But we are determined not to make this election campaign one of words, but one of issues. And we are ready to talk to voters and meet with voters at every single ward and every single block in this city. Ons is gereed om die argument te wen, oor welke beleid die beste omstandighede gaan skep vir al ons inwoners. Today we launch our 10-point plan to change the Tshwane Metro for the good, together with our local manifesto. Die DA is nie gewoon net 'n party van oppositie nie, maar een met 'n rekord in regering en 'n agenda vir die toekoms. These priorities do not encompass the full DA policy for the Tshwane Metro, but merely the first moves, the essentials which we need to have achieved first. Oor die volgende paar weke gaan die DA meer omvattende beleidsvoorstelle bekendstel oor ons 5 sleutelprioriteite wat almal daarop gerig is om die plaaslike ekonomie te groei, om werk te skep en om armoede te beveg. As ever, our agenda is based on our vision of an open opportunity society for all, which is not merely an abstraction, but a set of principles which will inform our every move in government, every rand we spend, every project we undertake, and every official we employ. Our 10 focus points are not rocket science. I was asked earlier by a radio, what's new? Are we going to be surprised? I said there's nothing new. There's only the basic principles of good government and good business principles which the DA have applied in the past and which we will apply here in Tshwane. The first of those points, and you should all have a copy of them, I'll just touch on them, is the DA government will drastically reduce crime. We will make sure the Metro Police are visible, that officers are well trained and adequately equipped, and that we focus resources and actions on areas where crime is particularly high. Secondly, a DA government will create a transparent and corruption-free administration. We'll do this by having meetings of council and of the executive mayoral committee open to the public, as well as attend the adjudication meetings. Important documentation must also be readily accessible to the public. Thirdly, a government will appoint councillors and officials who are fit for purpose. A DA councillors and I as a mayor will sign a charter committing us to the needed standard of service to the city. If we don't do our jobs, if I don't do mine, then we will be booted. Officials will be appointed and promoted based on their ability and performance, and all systems of political reward and taxpayers' account will be abolished. Fourthly, a DA government will improve customer service. One-stop centres dealing with all municipal services and functions will be opened across the city, and they will be staffed by well-trained and equipped officials. Officials will be allowed to do their jobs without political interference. A DA government will get our finances in order. Bills will be correct, debts will be collected, and every rand we spend will be spent wisely on delivering effective service to all our residents. A DA government will care for the poor. Rebates will continue to be given to those in need. An indigent policy will be effectively implemented and persons quickly registered. Basic services like water, sanitation and refuse removal will be delivered to all people. 7. A DA government will encourage energy saving and green practices. Recycling opportunities will be offered, energy saving methods employed, and incentives offered to install energy saving devices. We have to be at the forefront of this in South Africa. A DA government will introduce a new system of public participation. More effective partnerships will be established by citizens and the municipality. More inputs and buy-ins will be sought from residents. Customer satisfaction must be increased. A DA government will build new infrastructure and make sure that our existing infrastructure is well maintained. Works to provide basic services will be installed. The road network will be extended to every part of the city. Potholes must be fixed within 48 hours and faulty street and traffic lights within 24 hours. Staff operating the customer care hotline will be increased from the under 50 currently to at least 200 until we get in control of the backlog in our city. The last point, the 10th point in our turnaround or our improvement strategy for our city, is that a government will not let services be interrupted. The DA government will not let services be interrupted, and effective plans will be put in place to ensure that services are not cut off regardless of any form of protest taking place in our city. We must have alternative plans. That's our job as local government to provide those services, and we can't have excuses. So these are 10 large improvement points which we will focus on. Nothing dramatically new. The difference is how we will implement these points. More details will be shared weekly as we proceed in this campaign. We can win. We can solve the problems afflicting the Tshwane Metro, and we can make this an unrecognizably clean, safe and corruption-free city. We can turn our city into an engine of growth and service delivery for all our Americans. En ons kan mense se lewens verbeter. Hulle trots maak om in hierdie stad te bly. Pretoria is our capital, and it must be an example for our country. We say to voters, from Centurion to Hammanskraal, from Bronkhorstspruit to Atteridgeville, from Eersterus to Lordian, do not miss your chance on the 18th of May. We can win. The city is yours. Take it.